Meet Sala Family Dentistry, a practice committed to giving back to the community. In an effort to pull the community together, the Salas began their Pay It Forward challenge. The first step towards paying it forward was Dentistry from the Heart. For one day, people in need could come in and get their much-needed dentistry done for free. Each recipient of the free dental work was given a card that asked them to please pay it forward and do a good deed for someone else in the community. While we don't know how many lives this may have affected, we still feel pretty good about it.
Dentistry from the Heart for us started 3 years ago. We did our first one in 2009, and how we had heard about it was actually at a seminar down in Vegas, and we just instantly thought it was a great thing to do. And the doctors presented it to us when we came back, and all they had to say was, "Do you guys want to do Dentistry from the Heart?" And we were able as a team to take it from there, and ever since then it's been my absolute favorite day of the year.
It was the most amazing day ever to have all those patients who would not necessarily get dental care and who are walking around in pain. And I just love the fact that we could get them out of pain and they'd be so happy about it.
So the first morning we came up, it was probably 20 degrees and came up and the sun's just starting to come up. It was cold and windy and rainy, and there was probably about a little over 100 people already in line at 6 in the morning. And they were huddled up, blankets, cold, and it brings something out inside of you to drive up and realize that you left your nice warm bed and there's people waiting to get dentistry done. And that makes you feel really good when you get in there and start taking care of the people who need the dentistry to get done.
So our goal was the next year to see more patients. So we saw, I think, 120 the second year, and then the third year we saw about 130. So every year we're getting better and seeing people faster and taking care of more patients, and our goal is to take care of as many as we can.
We get probably 100, 200 people out in line. They start waiting at 5 p.m. the night before, and it's just incredible to see how many people in our community are actually in need that you don't even know about until you put on a day like this. It's just really great way for us to pay it forward to our community, and it's just one of the things that we absolutely love to do.
In 2011, Sala Family Dentistry launched Sala Stars. They asked the community to nominate 2 deserving people to receive complimentary full mouth restorations. The first recipient was someone who had helped hundreds of local school kids with their musical instrument repairs.
I was watching the news one day, and while watching the news I heard that they had a deal for Pay It Forward. If you'd help the community and you do work for other people selflessly, that they would like to hear your story. I went to my family and I go, "Listen guys," and they said, and then I found out it was for a full mouth restoration. I go, "Listen guys," and so I told a few of my friends, and they went and they submitted interview things for me. I later got a phone call from them and they wanted to interview me, and next thing I know I won it, and that was a really wonderful day. I've never been given anything. It was just a hobby. And I did it for so many years just as a hobby, and then I started helping people. My kids started going to elementary school. Decided what more could I do to help the kids like music? And I found out most of their instruments weren't working. They either got them out of their grandparents' closet or something, and with this economy, they're definitely handed down. I would go into the school and I would take that instrument, I'd run it home for about an hour, I'd fix it, and I'd run it right back to the kid in class. And I did probably 1 year, 80-something instruments between the elementary schools and the junior high and high school. And so as soon as I would fix them, the look on their face was just the most amazing thing. It's just something I didn't charge people for because it was out of my heart. It made me feel really good. I'd leave just feeling like higher than a kite. It was a great feeling. So that's how I got into doing the repairs I do. Music has enhanced my life, and as far as my kids go, it's totally changed their lives. They've stayed away from any bad influences like drugs and gangs and anything like that because they've just spent their whole life doing music. I went to everybody I knew and I told them exactly what I was the most thankful for. And I can say it's one of the things I was most thankful for in my life, and that was the Salas. And that was something that was permanent. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. And then I heard about all their Pay It Forwards, and it made me realize that this is just something they do to people out of their heart, and this to them isn't anything exceptional, but to me, it changed my life. And I know other people that they've changed their lives too. by doing so much for them selflessly.
Thanks to Gigi, hundreds of underprivileged children will grow up with the knowledge and experience of music. The next recipient was Eric. Eric had made some poor choices early in his life and had cleaned up. He now volunteers for a local charity organization that lends assistance to people who, like Eric, had made poor choices in their lives.
So with Eric, when he came into our office the first day, he wouldn't say anything to anybody. He didn't even know what he was here for. He had no idea. And it was really hard for him to express his excitement because he wouldn't even open his mouth.
When I first met Eric, I was actually working on a patient and I heard him doing the interview. And as soon as I saw him, I just had tears in my eyes because he was a really good-looking kid, young, very embarrassed about his mouth.
After just years of drug use and things like that, he had been clean for quite some time and was ready to make this change in his life.
I just was hoping that we would pick him. In the end, we did pick him. Once he had temporaries in, and only he really knew that they were temporaries, he was smiling huge, he got a girlfriend, he was just totally changing his total attitude.
I used to be ashamed of my smile. Coming here to Solid Family Dentistry, they really treat you with respect and kindness. And they helped me out a lot. As you can see, my teeth are perfect. More than perfect. They don't hurt anymore. The cold doesn't bother them or anything.
To get his teeth fixed up made Eric feel back into the swing of things, and it was neat to see him turn into a much more confident man in the short period of time that we saw him in the last year.
Once we were done with the case, he had 2 jobs and he was smiling. I looked on his Facebook page and there was a huge smile and people just telling him how great he looked, and they were so proud of him for getting his life around.
Eric's assistance can and will help countless others in our community to put their lives back together. Inspired by the Salas, JP & Son Landscaping adopted a city park. They maintain this park free of charge as their way of giving back to the community. Hundreds of locals enjoy this park every year. In the process of giving back to the community, the Salas have been receiving the benefits of their good deeds. New patient counts have consistently gone up from year to year, and production per month continues to go up, breaking records again and again. Now, the challenge is set for the Scheduling Institute. If and when the Scheduling Institute awards the Lamborghini to Sala Family Dentistry, it will be driven back to Reno, driven by the much-deserving staff, then sold to provide the seed money to grow a sustainable college fund. This fund will help Reno's hard-hit families put their kids through college. Please help us pay it forward and give us that Lambo.
Give me the Lambo.
Give us the Lambo!